Alright, it's time for you to learn a new skill. This skill is not only useful in chemistry, but in any field where you want to solve any word problem where there is a multiplication relationship between things. I feel this is an essential skill everyone needs to know. It's just like adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. It's essential that people know about conversion factors. So in this video, we're going to go over everything. First, we'll start with the basis of conversion factors. You need to know why this works, and so we'll take initially a little bit of time going over that, and then we'll solve a few practice problems as well. So first of all, why the need for conversion factors? Let's say if I ask you a question, 5,000 grams is equal to how many kilograms? I'm sure you've come across a question like that, some version of any question like that before, where you're asked for a relationship or conversion between two units. Now, you may say, well, this is a straightforward, easy question because I know the answer, but I'd like you to dig a little deeper into that and think about what you were thinking as you try to solve this. Okay, so what's the very first question that comes to your mind? For me, there are two questions that come to my mind. The very first thing is the fact. I first want to know, how are these two things related? Grams and kilograms. I've come across them, so I know. But let's say if it was just talking about ounces and pounds that you maybe not come across, how would you know what the relationship is? It's first by stating the fact. Okay, so the fact or the relationship is something you must know. This conversion factors skill doesn't help you with the facts. These are things that you either can Google or it will be given to you in a given question. This is not what this is for. It's for the second thing that you think about. Once you know the fact or the relationship, which in this case is 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams, right? Once you know that fact, you want to know, what comes to your mind is, do I multiply or do I divide, right? That's where most people get stuck. Do I multiply? Do I divide? Right? You can also add one more to this. Once you figure out, do I divide or multiply, let's say, then am I right? There's always this question, did I do this right? Okay, so these two questions are what this conversion factors will help you with. You won't have to worry about whether to multiply or divide. You will just leave it to conversion factors to do that work for you. And also to check whether you're right or wrong, conversion factors will do the work for you. Okay, so if you can use this skill in the right way, you will never get an answer wrong. Even if you get it wrong, you'll know that you haven't completed it, or there's something that you need to fix. Okay, so we're going to try to solve this problem using conversion factors. Before we do that, we need to set up our conversion factors. Now this setting up, I'm doing it just for right now, so you know the method behind it. You won't have to do all this work every time. Okay, so here's how we begin. We begin with the fact, which is 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. Now we're going to do some math magic on this. You need to know that in math, you cannot change the value along the equal to sign. Whatever you do to one side, you need to do to the other side to remain true. If you can do that and you prove something, that has to be true, right? So in this case, if I divide both sides by 1 kilogram, let's say, I'm dividing both sides by 1 kilogram, so I'm not breaking any mathematical rules. The two sides are still equal. And now there's one assumption that I'm making, which is that you can divide out the units. Okay, what that means is if I have 1 kilogram over 1 kilogram, it's just like saying if I have x over x. Okay, x, any number divided by itself is just 1. Right? If I have 5 divided by 5, it's 1. I have a 1 million divided by a million, that's 1. So x divided by x is 1. So 1 kilogram divided by 1 kilogram is also 1. The equal, the right side of that equal to sign remains the same. This is our conversion factor. Okay, you'll see how this can be very useful in just a moment. Just to show you the reciprocal of this, that the reciprocal of this can also be true. If we again start with that fact, 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams, I can also divide both sides by 1,000 grams. And now the right side cancels out. So 1 kilogram over 1,000 grams is equal to 1. You see how these two are reciprocals of each other? And both of them are equal to 1. So they are also equal to each other. But what we are looking for is this 1 here. Okay? Why we are looking for that 1 is this. Any question you begin from now on that is a word problem in chemistry in this unit, you'll begin by writing what's given. Okay? So in this scenario, we are given 5,000 grams. The same rules that we use, that you cannot change the value of something in math, we're going to follow the same thing. So I'm given 5,000 grams. I cannot change its mathematical value. What that means is I cannot multiply it randomly by a number to get what it is equal to. If I say 5,000 grams is equal to how many kilograms, right? That's our final answer we want to know. I cannot multiply it by anything that is going to change that value. Even if I multiply this by 0, it changes my value to 0. That's not right. There's only one number that doesn't change the value, and that number is 1. Right? If I multiply 5,000 grams by 1, my answer is still going to be 5,000 grams. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter how many times I multiply it by 1. My answer will not change. This is where the magic of conversion factors comes in. Because multiplying by 1 does not change my answer, now that tells me that if this conversion factor is equal to 1, I can multiply this by this factor or this factor as many times as I want. It's not going to change my value of that number. Okay? Now, if you randomly multiply it by any of the factors as many times as you want, that's also not useful, because you can just get a random value there. That's not what you want. What you want is answer in kilograms. Okay? This is where your question helps you with that. Whatever the question is asking you for, make sure you write that on the far right side of the paper, and that's what your end goal is. Okay? So if I have 5,000 grams, what can I multiply it by so that my answer is in kilograms? I have two factors here that I've identified that can help me with this. Firstly, grams is what I want to get rid of. Now, you won't have to do all of this work for every question. This is how I will do the question without all of this. Grams is what I want to cancel out. I don't want grams. So I put grams at the bottom, because then I can cancel the two values out. Anything at the top divided by anything at the bottom, right? So grams is what I want to cancel out. Instead of it, what I want is kilograms. Do I have a relationship between these two? Yes, I know that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. You can treat a conversion factor, instead of going through all this to make the conversion factor, just use the fact and make it a fraction. You can make it either a fraction that's kilogram over gram in this case, or grams over kilograms. Just make sure that the right number goes with the right term. 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. Okay, not the other way around. So grams and grams cancel. I know that I'm multiplying this value by 1 and then dividing by 1,000. That's what this means. 5,000 times 1 over 1,000 means 5,000 divided by 1,000. So that's my answer, 5 kilograms. Now I know this could have been a much easier problem to solve if you just remembered that you're dividing by 1,000, but this is not the only thing you will do in chemistry. You'll have multi-step problems, as you see these multiple ones that you can multiply by. So in chemistry, you can get problems that will take you 2 to 3 pages to solve. But if you know conversion factors, you can solve almost any problem in 1 or 2 lines, and you'll get your answers.